crowded filming locations. The atmosphere of the set is always full of bustle. The crew goes by, the director is busy giving directions, the makeup artist prepares the equipment, while the cast tries to calm down before an important scene. That day, in the midst of the rush, Zhao Jinmai came in with a sweet smile that made the room seem more alive. However, there is something awkward. Zhang Linghe, the co-star as well as a figure who had been close to him, looked busy with a mobile phone in his hand. His eyes were fixed on the screen. His fingers moved quickly as if he were typing an important message. Zhao Jinmai briefly glanced. There was curiosity, mixed with a little disappointment. Usually, whenever they met on the set, Zhang Linghe was the first to greet her, joke around, or simply ask how she was doing. But this time, no. Saved by the phone. Zhao Jinmai tried to brush off the strange feeling. He sat in his chair, receiving the final touches from the makeup artist. Occasionally, he glanced at Zhang Linghe. The man is still the same, absorbed in his cell phone, even when other actor colleagues try to talk to him. Linghe GE, you've been so busy today, huh? One of the crew tried to joke. Zhang Linghe only responded with a slight smile, then again lowered his head to the screen. Zhao Jinmai bit his lip. There was a question hanging in his heart. Am I not important enough for him today? Unexpected moment. When the lunch break came, the players gathered in the small canteen of the set. Zhao Jinmai sat down with the other two actresses, conversing lightly while laughing. She laughed, her eyes brightened, like a young girl who was really enjoying a chat. Zhang Linghe, who was sitting a bit far away, was still holding his phone. However, this time his eyes began to glance towards Zhao Jinmai. He saw how the girl was so familiar with the interlocutor, how she laughed, even casually patted her co-star on the shoulder. In an instant, something struck him. Jealousy. Revealed gaze. Despite trying to hide, Zhang Linghe couldn't take his eyes off Zhao Jinmai. He tried to refocus on the phone screen, but every time Zhao Jinmai's laughter sounded, he automatically turned his head. One of the crew members sitting next to him realized that. Linghe, you keep looking that way. What's wrong? Zhang Linghe coughed a little, pretending to be busy. Nothing. Just a coincidence. But in his heart, he knew it wasn't a coincidence. There was a fear of losing attention. There was a sense of wanting to participate in Zhao Jinmai's circle of laughter. The jealousy game. Zhao Jinmai, although looking engrossed in conversation, actually felt that gaze. He realized Zhang Linghe was watching him. The inner part of him that had been disappointed now just wanted to test. Would Zhang Linghe be jealous? So she deliberately brought her chair closer to one of her male co-stars, laughed louder, and even played with her hair while talking. Small movements that seemed to indicate excess comfort. From a distance, Zhang Linghe clenched his fists. The phone in his hand was no longer interesting. Outbreak of silence. After lunch, everyone returned to the waiting room. Zhang Linghe finally put his phone on the table, trying to calm down. However, his mind was spinning. Why should I feel this way? Why do I care who Jinmai is talking to? Zhao Jinmai walked into the same room. He glanced at Zhang Linghe, hoping for a response. But the man only nodded briefly, without a smile. There was tension hanging in the air. The crew may not realize it, but their hearts are at war. Tense shooting scenes. The director called them for romantic scenes. Ironically, in the midst of a relationship that feels cold, they have to show warm chemistry in front of the camera. Linghe, look into his eyes as if he's the only person in this world, the director gave direction. Zhang Linghe took a deep breath, then looked at Zhao Jinmai. And that's where all the emotions he's been holding on to since he broke out. His eyes were full of flavor, not only as an actor, but also as a jealous man. Zhao Jinmai was stunned. The gaze is different, deeper, more real. He almost forgot that the camera was recording. After the camera stops, the scene went perfectly. All the crew applauded, praising the chemistry of the two. But when the cameras stopped, they were silent again. Zhao Jinmai finally ventured. You were so busy with your phone earlier. His voice was quiet, almost sarcastic. Zhang Linghe turned his head, his eyes sharp yet full of emotion. And you seem very pleased with your interlocutor. They looked at each other. For a moment, no one spoke. But behind the silence, there was an unspoken confession. Both cared about each other. Fusible tension. That night, when everyone went home, there were only the two of them left in the waiting room. Zhang Linghe finally spoke more softly. I wasn't really busy. I was just trying to distract myself. Why? Zhao Jinmai asked in a curious tone. Because I don't like to see you too close to other people, he replied honestly. Zhao Jinmai fell silent. Then his smile slowly appeared. So, are you jealous? Zhang Linghe sighed, giving up. Yes. And I hate to admit it. The answer to jealousy. From that day on, there was no longer any strange distance between them. Zhang Linghe was no longer immersed in his phone when Zhao Jinmai was around him. On the contrary, he jokes more, pays more attention, sometimes even too clearly shows his protectiveness. Zhao Jinmai also felt calmer. To him, knowing that Zhang Linghe could be jealous meant that there was a special space in the man's heart for him. And as for the audience, they just see incredible chemistry on the screen. But behind the camera, there is a true story of sweet jealousy, which proves that the relationship of the two is more than just acting.